We're here with David Alin, a beekeeper from the southern Golan. David, welcome. Thank you for being with us. And
Hi.
the floor is yours. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself, about your farm.
Okay, so my name is David. I came in 1974 to the Golan and started raising bees, which I've been doing ever since. I came from England originally. I'll just give you a few words about bees in general. Then we do something about bees in Israel, and then I'll tell you about our specific operation. So up to about 10 years ago, nobody knew, apart from beekeepers, much about bees. But then the bees started dying off all over the world. And we aren't managing to keep up our bee populations. We've got 30% mortality all over the world yearly. So we have a big problem. And now it doesn't affect just beekeepers, it affects everyone in the world because 30% of our food depends on pollination by bees. So no bees, a big problem, no alternative to bees doing the pollination. So it's a worldwide problem, and now more or less everyone has heard about it. And unfortunately, we haven't got any solution up to now. So we have a big problem. So what we have here in Israel, we have the same problem, bees dying out. And the most important thing is not really the honey, but the pollination. And if you can see behind me, we have these beehives in an orchard of kiwi fruit. No bees, no kiwi fruit. So this is one of the things we do, pollination services. What also we do is, of course, our honey. And honey is always the product of the flowers that are in the area. And we in, as you know, Israel, land of milk and honey. And it's always been a good producer of honey. But our area is especially good because we have so many wild flowers here in Israel, in the Golan. In Israel, not so much. And in our area, we have no industrial areas, very little pollution, a lot of wild flowers in spring and in summer. People bring their beehives from all over Israel in summer to here. And we get a very good quality honey because of the variety of flowers. And it's marketed as specifically as wildflower honey from the Golan. So we've got a very good product, mainly because of the bees, not because of me. And that's more or less what we do. And I think today people know the importance of beekeeping, of when you find a bee swarm, you must keep it alive, tell a beekeeper, and as much as possible not to spray bees that are in the area, because this will do damage to the whole ecosystem. So that's more or less what I've got to say. I'd be interested to hear if you've got any questions about what we do, why we do it. Oh, and yes, also about honey. Get honey in from different colors and tastes. You get honey from absolutely white, clear honey, which comes from clover flowers, and honey from chestnut trees, which it's black, like burnt engine oil. Our hives produce honey which is reddish in color, in the summer, and it's a sort of golden color in the spring. Spring honey has a lighter taste, and the summer honey is a stronger taste. The main honey in Israel used to be citrus fruits, but now there are less and less citrus orchards. So everyone has his own specialized honey that he likes. And what we also do is, we started doing this year is trips or visits to the beehives, get the people dressed up in their bee suits, and they can come and see the hive from close up, and it's becoming quite successful. Yeah.
David, where is your visitor center, as you said, located, and where are you right now? Because we see in the background here Mount Hermon, so you're somewhere in the northern Golan.
Yeah, we are at present. We are just close to the Hermon mountain, and we are here because we are taking out bees that were in pollination for kiwi fruit. And so this we do at night, only when it's dark, because then the bees are all inside the hives. And we'll take them back to our area, which is about 70 kilometers from here, south. And our visitor center is by our farm, by our bee farm. We also market all our honey alone, which is we market about 15 tons every year, 15 tons.
All in Israel, or do you also export?
Well, we only just tried, because a lot of problems with to export honey. I mean, to import into other countries. There are also these restrictions on that.
What do you mean? What kind of restrictions?
People they want to, the health ministry in other countries, they're afraid of bee diseases coming into the country. But we've done it in a small scale. We may do it in the future. We may, because we sold honey from the near us is this baptismal site of and they were sending honey out to Europe mainly, and they've succeeded. So maybe we'll do that. Yeah. Most of the honey we sell in Israel, almost all. Israel imports honey. We import honey because we aren't producing enough. And see, it all depends. You see, on the Russian immigrants, they love honey. So before they came, we had too much honey. We had to export at a loss. And then the Russians came, and they love honey, and they see it also as a medicinal of medicinal use. So we've got a good market, and the need for pollination is going up all the time, and so we're enlarging our business all the time.
And just if you can repeat for those who joined us afterwards, when did you come to Israel, and how long has the bee farm been active for?
Well, I came to Israel in 1965, and then I went in the army and stayed there until 1974. Then I came here to the Golan with my family in 1974, and since then I've been in the Moshav. It's a Moshav where everyone is independent. Moshav Ovdim, it's called. Yeah, what else?
And there's two questions I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
About, I would say, a farmer's life. First of all, when you say a farmer, usually to people who don't work in the field like me, then we imagine someone who wakes up early in the morning. here what you're describing is that it's the other way around. You work at night.
Yeah, we do a lot of, we move them at night because then they're all inside the hive. You see, there are not many young people coming into the business because you work in hot, you work in these bee suits which can become very hot in summer. You work at night, you get stung. So if you don't love the job, you can't do it. You must love the
So
job.
that would lead me to the second question. I'll just say to our viewers that the average age of farmers in Israel, we're talking about all fields of agriculture, is relatively high.
Oh yeah, I mean, even in America and in Israel, average age of commercial beekeepers 60.
Wow.
So people aren't going into the business. It's difficult.
So what would be your biggest challenge, which might be what's preventing younger ones from coming in?
Well, agriculture as a whole is it has less and less of a future for young people because you get bigger. I think this is also an international issue, that the farms are getting bigger and then thus perhaps more economical and more efficient, and so there are less and less people working in agriculture. And I mean, we see it here in the beekeeping business also, that there are less and less. Once there were a lot of small beekeepers. Now you've got to be bigger and more efficient, or you're out.
So you're saying you think what is the biggest challenge, that it's not small and family-like, it's more big and industrial?
That's what it's coming to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you take, for instance, the dairy farms, which used to be sort of small family business, they've got to become bigger and bigger, or they have to sell up. And this, I know, is also, especially in America, this is also a trend, which is unfortunate, but that's true.
Can you maybe, as someone who's been in the business for a while, maybe can you talk about technology? Because, I'm assuming that you use today different things, different elements of technology that you didn't use when you started off. How does, I don't know if you can call it agri-tech or high-tech involved in what you deal with, maybe?
Yeah, I think, you can see that you must become more and more efficient and use high-tech things. For instance, we, up to about, 30 years ago, we used to move the hives by hand, which was very difficult, and they could be really heavy and unpleasant to. So now we have a little crane on a lorry with a crane, truck with a crane, and that's how we move the hives. There are new machines which extract the honey from the hives, and this also saves work. But there are still a lot of things that they have to be done by hand, and no way of getting past it without a worker or working people. And I think that's true also in other branches of agriculture. We're getting more and more technical, computers and so on. Yeah, no other way.
Is there any, when it comes, I know, for example, when you talk about dairy farms, there are ways to see how much each cow produces. Is the cow sick? A lot of statistics. Bees is a bit different.
That's amazing, yes. And what we have, but I haven't got this thing yet. Yeah, you have a scale, electronic scale. You put a hive on the electronic scale, and it has a little transmitter. So instead of going 200 kilometers to see how your hives are doing, you just check it on the phone. You check that if the weight goes up, it means the honey is coming into the hive. So this is a great innovation. Sure, yeah. And also we have as I think in all over the world, a lot of vandalism and stealing of honey, of beehives and honey. So now we have this sort of burglar alarm, which is called Ituran. And this you put it inside the hive, and if somebody steals the hive, you'll know where the hive is. But the trouble is that the thieves have also learned where about this thing. So it's a problem. And last year was the first year I had vandalism, that somebody came up and just tipped over the hives. No, didn't try to steal anything, nothing, just vandalism.
So that might be a visitor or something, but I'm saying if someone steals it, it must be someone who knows what to do with it. I mean, I would.
Yeah. Oh yes, this is. There are experts in it. You know, once upon a time, there were wild bees in Israel, up to about 20 years ago, until all these diseases which come out from all over the world. And now there are no wild bees. There used to be people, mainly the Arab, who would find, you know how to find the wild bees and collect the honey. And now there are no wild bees, so they have to collect the honey from our hives. And this is unfortunate. Yeah, big problem. Yeah.
And when you talk about producing 70 tons, how much is that? Just to give us some context, I guess you can say proportion. How many bees do you have?
I have 700 hives, which is it's a medium size. In the American side, this is nothing. It's very small.
Mm-hmm.
Americans have a much bigger scale than we do. But this is a sort of medium-sized operation. Our speciality is that we bottle all our honey ourselves, which is not usual. Usually people just sell the honey to a wholesaler, a big dealer, and we don't, because we got a good product, and people are willing to pay more for a good product.
Okay, maybe let's open it for for questions from the crowd. Anyone want to ask anything? They're shy, David. They're shy. Okay, I see. Okay, a hand is being raised there. 1 second. No, 1 second. There we go. Guys, anyone questions to David before he has a long night of work ahead of him? So this is your chance to catch him. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. There, Jackie Hirsch from Atlanta, Georgia. Okay.
Yes.
1 second, I'm unmuting her. Why can't we hear her? Okay, go for it.
No, I was interested in the 30% loss of bees. What is the cause?
What is the cost?
Yeah, cause. Why is that happening? 30%. Is that something?
Of course, yeah. Well, look, there are three main reasons. First of all, new pesticides which are being used all over the world. And these pesticides won't necessarily kill the bees, but they lose their direction finding system.
Mm-hmm.
So they fly out of the hive, they get sprayed, they won't know how to come back, and they just die off. That's one. Another one is electromagnetic radiation. For instance, we've known for years that under high tension electric cables, it drives the bees crazy. And now we think that telephones, all these special phones also disrupt the bees' navigation system. And the worst problem, the big problem, is that in about 1960, a sort of parasite, which is quite, it's quite large. It sits on the bee, and the bee can't get rid of it. And it's gone from Japan, where it was first found, in about 60 years. It's gone all over the world, apart from Australia. Australia haven't got this. It's called the Varroa mite. And its big problem is that it carries with it viruses, which we have no way of of getting to eradicate it at the present time. So it's a big problem. With 30%, we can more or less survive by making new hives. But if it gets worse than that, we are in a big problem worldwide.
Someone's asking here, can we see a hive?
Yeah, look, just behind. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can we see it? No, I don't know. I'll try and move the. Can you see him behind me?
Those who know what hives, I see them here.
Yeah.
Right? The white, looks like white boxes.
The white boxes, yeah, no, that's it. And if you can see, maybe down the road here, can you see him loading the hives?
It's a little bit hard to see because of sunset.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, they're loading now with the crane, little crane, and behind you is the Mount Hermon, which is almost 3,000 meters up.
Highest mountain in Israel.
Yeah. And there's even some snow there on the top, if you can see.
A little bit hard to see.
That's it. So you can see the bees they finished their work here and we're taking them home.
Okay, guys, any other questions? So let's see. So I put on the chat the Facebook page and website for the Alin Bee Farm. It's located in the south of the Golan, so a region that is less known, I must say, for tourists. One second, we have another question coming in. Is it an every night job or is it seasonal?
No, it's seasonal. For instance, in winter, the bees hibernate when it's cold. And in Israel, we have, let's say, from middle of November to end of January, the bees stay in the hive and don't come out. There are places like north of Canada, they may be 6 months inside the hive and they don't come out. So we have no work in the field from end of November to beginning of February. But especially in the spring, we have well, I won't say it's every night, but it's quite often at night. That's when we move hives into, first of all, to almond pollination, which is in the end of January, and then apples and pears, and now we have this kiwi, then we'll have melons and watermelons. So we move around a lot.
Okay. So once again, I'm not muted. I'll just say to everyone that you are located in the south of the Golan, which is a region that is, maybe I'm saying for people who visit Israel, is less known. Usually people go to where you are now, to the northern part. But next time you guys come, definitely worth, you said you opened it for visitors. I think it's fascinating to come. Lots of things to do in that area. You can look it up. And David, when you start exporting, let us know. We want to get your products abroad also.
Yeah, sure. Great.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. And good luck with the bees.
Thanks for you. Okay, wonderful. So.
Okay, Litraot. Friends, before you leave, bye, David. I'm just going to share my screen for a second for the rest of the schedule. There we go. You can turn off, David. No problem. Okay. 1 second. I'm sharing my own screen. I'm just going to share with y'all just a reminder for the rest of the schedule. So in 30 minutes, we are moving from milk and honey to whiskey. Meeting Israel's first whiskey in the Golani distillery with David Zibbo, master distiller. After that, we have Agriculture 2020, talking about innovative agriculture, something we started talking with David a little bit about. Our speaker, as I announced before, is going to be Dr. Daphna Michaeli, an expert on agriculture R&D. And we're going to end the day with the tour of the national site of En Keshatot. So guys, thank you very, very much for joining us. And we really look forward to seeing you in 30 minutes. And after that, of course, this all is on Facebook, and our YouTube channel is also, we're going to the Golan Heights YouTube channel. It's also going to be there. Thank you very much. Have a great day, great evening, and we hope to see you in our next sessions.